I believe we are live. Or at least until the thing goes live, we're live. All right. Funny thing is, I scheduled this so people can find it, and you can't find it on the channel at all, but that's okay. I'll talk to Aldi. We'll work on that. It's just one of those things that it doesn't post up. Nevertheless, for those of you that are watching and those of you that will be watching in the future, we are going to be finishing up our Lord of the Rings journey in Middle Earth. I think it's in, is it? Journey in Middle Earth. Yeah. Journeys in Middle Earth. Yeah, I'm doing a great job. Can paint it, just can't talk about it. We're gonna be working on some bases and things like that, and I'm gonna talk you through some things. I want to keep this under around an hour each and every week. Ice Guardian, Kabuki, how are you? Some of the things that I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you some techniques and things, especially with ghost figures and things like that. And we're gonna pick out some things that really just stick out. Just played this game Monday night for the first time. Loved it. Didn't have nice painted minis though. Well, now you're going to learn and be able to have them. Barbara, how are you? It's always good to see you, and it's good to see everybody. Zeb, like Mark M, excuse me, Ice Guardian. I took my glasses off to put my better ones on. We're going to finish up this Wednesday, and like I said, we're here every single Wednesday. We're going to try to be, there's no hurricane, so at least we could be here, and that's the best thing about it. It's always great just to be here with you guys. I want to show you how to get these done quick, easy, to the table, no mixing paints, no stuff, but I'm going to show you some of these bases. These bases are going to kind of really stick out, and then I'm going to play the game on my channel, Rob's Tabletop World, for those of you, for the 3 people that don't know that, over on Rob's Tabletop World, which was one of the reasons why we worked on this, to get it to the table finally, and it's a game I've been looking forward to. So, without running my mouth and without further ado, why don't we go down to the table and take a look at where we're at. And if you remember last week, we got a lot of stuff done, but I went and did a few things for like another hour after that, and got things right to where we can, so we can finish this up in an hour, because next week you're going to see 2 live videos. One is a special project, and another is something that I think you guys are going to really be interested in, and you're going to want to see it at the very end of the show. So, without further ado, and me talking too much, let's take a look. We've got some of the guys here. Let's see if we can give you a better angle of it. Yeah, as you can see, I took all the old bases off, and I cut them off their bases. I can show you. I just didn't like these bases. I just didn't feel that there was enough that we could do with them, and I put them all on the micro art bases. And what we're going to do is we're going to fix up some of these micro art bases to really show these figures. Now let's go to the other view. Yeah, as you can see, we have our heroes we cut off. So we're going to be doing some really neat things, but we'll worry about them later. Let's go up over top, and let's do that. Okay, there's my hands. All right, perfect. Right where we should be. First thing we want to do is... Boy, do I want to use that? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour out some white paint, or I normally do, right there. Okay. Oh, let's get me out of there. We don't need me there. There we go. We're going to be using the Army Builder paint, matte white. Army Builder. Army Painter. Will I ever get that right? I don't know. And I wanted to show you real quick exactly, if you remember last week, we put that over this guy, that color, but as you can see, he's a little lighter now, and that's because we dry brushed the white over him. And you're going to see where this is going to make a difference and give that more ghostly feel to it. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to put, that's a pretty good amount. We're going to need white for a little bit. So why don't I do that? All right, let's grab a brush that will work here. I think that's our boy. Nice flathead brush, old brush. Perfect. We're going to take, and I'm going to put some of this white in here. And all I want to do is just, again, mix it into my brush really, really good. Really good. Hey, Tim. And really get this in here real good. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right. And then after that, we're going to be taking, if you remember, we couldn't decide on what color to use. So what I wanted to do is, I really want to lighten this up, but you see how dark he is. Now, there's things I got to remind you guys. This is live, and it's out of my home, and we are not the most professional. So you're going to hear dogs, you're going to hear kids, you're going to hear grandchildren, all those types of things, but don't worry about it. And I want to make sure that I have this off enough. And if you see, I got it in that brush pretty good, but I lightly, because I don't want to take that green away. And I'm going to really give you that feel. That's what we're looking for. There we go. Grab a little bit more here. And I'm just ever so lightly going over this wonderful figure. And these are wonderful figures. There's no doubt about it. All right. And you can see I can grab a little bit more here. Really make sure that I get it in here. Remember, going light is good because basically, there we go, there we go, there we go. And very lightly, just going over. It's taking some of those brush marks out that we had from the very dark, and I do mean very dark, paint that we used. And now all of a sudden, he's starting to have that ghostly figure, but we're not losing the green like we want, you know, that we put in there, that wonderful ghastly green. And we're just using, and you can go a little harder as as less paint is on the brush, the harder you can move to just get those nice high spots. See where we're getting there? Zeblik, how are you? Commute home 45 minutes. Oh, we should be done by then. What time is it? Oh, never know. And then you see where we're getting. See how we turn it over? It's darker green there. Woo! Come back here, son. There we go. So just grab this a little bit. And then, and it's only when you feel comfortable. I always start nice and light. I get a feel for the paint that is on my brush. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Boom, 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 boom. And just working it off. This is such an easy thing to do, too. Of course, this brush is a little bit too old. And it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. But, hey, we'll be all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. And then just nice and light. You can see how just going lightly over this, how much it makes a difference in this model. Now all of a sudden he's ghastly, not ghostly. Something like that. And don't be afraid, if you're not sure, to use a little on your base. And I got to be careful because I also glued this onto the base there. Yeah. I'm just going to work that into there, into there, and boom, all of a sudden he just stands out. Does exactly what we need him to do. And you can see the difference. Which one looks more ghostly? Yeah, that brother right there. All right, so we're going to put him over there. We're going to go over it one more time so you guys get it and we feel good about it. That's the most important thing. I think I'm going to swap out the brush. think I've got... Okay. This brush got to go. You know when the brush is dead, it's dead. Alright, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. This one is just dead. And we'll toss that one out later. We're going to grab a different one. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to work right in this same area, though. Right in the same area. That's all we need to do. Work in the same area. Alright. Let's see how this brush does. Watch. I'll be unhappy with this one as well. And just... Yeah, no, this one's a little bit better. I can feel it with this one. I can feel it with this one. See how we're getting that? It's just nice, light movement. It's taking those brush lines out that I got in there and really just... There we go. It's just sitting up in there. Don't be afraid. Get it in there. Get it in there. Because you don't want to lose that green. You want that green to kind of shine through a bit. So you got to know your limit here. You got to know where you're at. You'll know it. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's a matter of feel. And you'll get there. Whoa! See, that's one of the things I was telling you about. That because I glued them on. But that's okay. Because we have emergency glue on hand. And the most important thing, see, I started to get too rough with the brush. I was feeling it. That's okay. These things happen. See, nobody else will show that. They'll tape right. Oh, let's edit that out. No, we go live. So you can see how to handle mistakes. I make a mistake, we fix it live. So you see how, hey, I remember when that happened to Rob. I remember that. And that's the whole point. I remember that. I remember this. All right. And as always, we are here on Board Game Geek. It's always good to be here. Every Wednesday you will find us. Now hopefully we can keep the same time around 6 o'clock. Alright. And when you're dry brushing, it dries quick, so you're not getting it all over yourself. Alright. Very cool. Alright, let's move this out of the way. We'll put that brush in there. Hey, this is why you always keep glue on hand. Always keep glue on hand. Something like this will happen. I was pushing too hard. It's going nice and easy, and then I got a little pumped up. Couldn't tell you. Happens. Happens to the best of us. Boom. Fixed. Put them over there. All right. Let's get that up here. All right. So let's take a look at a few things, and I want to show you guys a couple of things that I want to fix here. First of all, we've got some bases here. We've got our heroes that we want to put on, and I couldn't make a decision on which one. But before we do that, that reminds me. Before we do that, because I want to stay in pattern here, I want to just put some teeth in there for the wolves. So I'm just going to grab myself a decent brush here. Okay, there we go. And while we have the white out, that's what we want to do. Glue is our friend. Glue is always your friend. Glue is your best friend. Too much glue on the hand and your fingers stick together. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you got to be careful with your glue. All right, let's go back down to the table. All right, so we got these wolves. These wolves are cool. I took them off their old bases and I put them on these woodland bases because I just thought it'd be cool. And all I want to do is I want to take a little bit of that white paint that we had. Okay, and oh, let me get my helmet on. Oh, I felt so bad. And I was out here painting and my granddaughter came by. So I don't hold her very often because she's very, very small. So I'm just going to come up. I'm going to come up for a second and just tell the story real quick, because that's what I do. So I had this thing on, and my granddaughter came by. So I had it up, and I was just working, doing my thing, and she came by. So I went to hold her, and she just, she's only 8 weeks old. So I took my glasses off to see her, and this fell, and fortunately it just grazed her, but she was crying, and I felt awful. Now I'm not going to hold that kid until she's 20. Ugh, I still feel awful about it. What can I tell you? It's not easy being an old grandpa. Always making mistakes. I was feeling pretty good. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to hold her today when she comes by." So all we're going to do. Oh, this brush is awful. It's an awful brush. We're just getting those teeth in there. And all we want to do is just very lightly graze those teeth. I mean, we're not going for show quality here, because normally I would do the gums and everything like that. But all I want to do is just, I got the tongue in there. I want to get the teeth to just kind of shine a little bit. And all right, there we go. That's one wolf. We're going to do some more with those wolves. I'm going to change the brush real quick. I'm very temperamental when it comes to brushes for some reason. I don't know why. I got one of these army painter brushes that are $2. I got a bunch of these. That was a good deal for those of you that saw. All right, so we're going to grab another dude here. Let's see if this one works a little bit better. All right. And we're just, there we go. That's a little bit better. Just lightly, make sure that you can see the teeth, and then just go lightly over them. You don't have to push in there with a bunch of paint. You don't want a lot of paint on your brush. You just want to just catch them and lightly go over. And then voila, look, got teeth in there. Just like that. Mark, how are you? So we're going to put him back. Put him back. We're going to come back to these after I do this. I just want to get the ogre. I want to get his fangs in there. And like I said, all we want to do is just make these look nice enough. I don't know how they play. Kabuki could tell us how nasty these wolves are if she ran into them with her group. With her gaming group. But I will tell you this, these will be ready to go. Now, you saw us paint these last week, and it's just a simple thing. It's just a bunch of layering that we did. All right, there we go. The same thing with Big Boy here. We just did a bunch of layering. Oops. And all I want to do is just get the tooth there, tooth there, and get that in there, and voila, we've got monster. All right, now let's talk about these bases a little bit. First of all, let's keep this over here. We may need that, so we're going to get this out of the way. And we're doing pretty good. We're 20 minutes in. Ran into one in our game. Was the biggest HP creature we encountered, I believe. Well, there you go. There you go. Now, just to talk quickly about these, very simple what I did with them. I primed them black. Then what I did is I just dry brushed with a nice lead belcher. Then I just painted my greens in, okay? I used a, oh God, what was it called? It's right here. Oh, I used a little bit of Nurgling green, and I just took and took the slightest bit of Avalon sunshade and just very dry brush to give that kind of yellowy feel to these guys. Okay, Beastal Brown for the backpack, the knife, and just a nice good wash of Agrath Earthshade over them. Nothing too complicated, kept it very, very simple for these guys. Now, speaking of these guys, we've got what we call a little bit of Elmer's glue. Yeah. Alright, let me just make sure that this is off. But what we want to do here, okay, as you can see, I already did this one a little bit, and maybe we'll go to our side view so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, there we go. I already did this one a little bit, but I want to add a little grass areas in here, and we got to get that in there a little bit. There we go. And all I'm going to do is just add that there. Maybe just put a little bit over here. All right. And I'm really trying to decide which guys I want to put on here. I'm going to put a little in that crack there. There we go. But I'm also going to put a little here too. And you'll see what I have in mind here, because I got to make a decision. Now this one is, I don't know who the heck is going to go on this one, but I like to get a little moss in there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Right there. Nothing too extensive. And all we're going to be doing is using, there we go. I got this static grass, which is perfect, and I got a pair of tweezers here. And I'm just going to take this top off. All I'm going to do is just grab a little bit of this grass. And then, like in this particular area, I'm just going to dap it in there. Just to give it a little bit more feel. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to put a little bit on here. Move some over there. You know, they're outside running around. Not everything is the way it seems. There we go. And they're going through all these old relics. And I'm just going to tap this into the top here. Same thing here. Get whatever excess off. There we go. And it just gives a little bit better feel, you know. It just adds these really nice bases. I really like these things. I'm gonna grab a little bit more. And maybe a little bit more. Boom. And however you want to do it. You see, it just adds a nice little feel to it. Matter of fact, let's go to a better shot, huh? So you can see exactly what I'm doing. Duh. No, wrong shot. Ah, there we go. And all I'm doing is just taking, and I'll do it again so you guys can see. Just stamping a little in there. Putting some in there. And just a little up in there. And then all you do is you just take your thing here and you bang it out. Tap it down. And you see we have a nice little feel for our bases here. That's exactly what we're looking for. All we're looking for. All right. Move this over. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay. I think I just want to add a little just going to add just the slightest bit into that corner there. Maybe a little bit on top here. There we go. And our friends here. Kind of like that there. You know, there's no right answer. There definitely is no right answer here. It's whatever you think it should be. And I think that's the cool thing about it. You know, what do you see in your mind? What works for you? And that's exactly all we're trying to do. And just that little bit of grass, you know, gives you a little more realism. Not realism, I think, is the wrong word that I'm looking for, but you know, just that thematic part to it. You know, you feel like, oh man, this warg is really out there. He's really out there, and he's really starting some trouble. Silly warg. All right. And I'll just add a little bit more there. And we're going to spin that around. Just dump that right in there. Of course, I got the air conditioner going. It is Florida, so some of you, I'm sure, are having some beautiful weather. I hope. It's that time of year where it finally starts to cool down. Well, for most of us, for most of you. Even here, it cools down to about 85. We got Huddy coming down in a couple weeks. Go to Disney World. So he's all excited. But I keep on telling my daughter, be prepared. It's going to be hot. Okay, I'm just going to knock this out a little bit. Tap that down. I can't believe Huracan is going to be here soon. Alright, there we go. And you see what I'm going for here. And I'm going to switch cameras. I'll get this out of the way. And let's go to this camera here. Yeah, there we go. You know, yeah, I could see the white sticking through too. Yeah. Not the only one. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. And there we go. Show you the other guys. These bases are just so nice. And if you have the means to get them, I definitely suggest it. They really do a nice job. Alright. Alright, so now the big decision is who do we put on what and where and why. Okay. Now, for Gimli here, I put him on the base because one of these stone bases because you know, one of the things that I always think about is that first fight against that giant troll. So I wanted to put him in there, and he was always talking about how great everything was. And then this young lady here, we put on another stone base. You can see how she came out. Alright. I really like that. I like how that base works for him. But for our friend here, Legolas, I mean, which one do we put him on? I mean, do I put him here? No. I mean, I could put him here or do this where he's shooting up. I think that. Here, let's show you guys. I'm thinking of putting him this way so he's shooting upwards. Like he's on a log shooting up. I think that might work. I think that might work. Well, let's give it at worst. All we could do is we could break it off and we'll see. We'll see. So we're gonna put this and let me tell you something. If you're gonna use glue, get this Instacure This stuff is fantastic. You can get it at Hobbytown or some of I believe Lobby carries it, if I'm not correct. All right, so I really want him to stand and look majestic, and I think that would be kind of cool. All right, yeah, you see, that's what I'm looking for. And let's see if I can get another view of it. Of course, I got the cameras in a weird position today. Ah, there we go. All right, so there we go. So it looks like he's shooting. He's standing on the log shooting at one of these dudes coming over the horizon. You even get sound effects here. So I think that works really well with him. So we're gonna leave that the way it is. And when it sits down like this, I mean, I think you see what I'm kind of talking about. You know, like he runs up on top of this log and it just unleashes those arrows like he did, like in the movie. Boom, 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 boom. Just taking things out. I like it. I like it. Now, of course, we have our, Aragorn. Now, this one I'm really fighting over. I'm thinking stone base here. Like when he fought the kings. I think that might work for him. And I think I'm going to go with that. So let's go with that. When he came over, Strider, we need it. And all the hobbits were about to get chewed up. Yeah, we're going to go stone base with him. And yeah, I like that. Let it dry and then I'll show you guys a bit. But this stuff dries pretty quickly. You see what I'm going for here? I think it works very, very well. There we go. And this young lady, who I got to put her ears on. I did not put them on yet. Hold on. Ah, here's the color that I used over the top of the green. Okay, is sulfide ochre, and I really liked how it worked. I just kind of dry brushed it over. It lightened them up a bit, and it worked out very, very well. I think. All right, we got some Kesler flesh here. And all I want to do is very lightly just take a dab of this. Just a stab. I don't have to water it down, nothing. Because I missed her ears. And now there they are. There's one ear. And the other ear. There we go. And then, because I got the wash in there a little bit, just want to lighten up her face a little bit. Especially on this side where you got to be careful, because if you go too heavy with your washes, you will wash out their faces very easily. I'm just going to hit that very lightly. Just keep working my thing in there until her face lightens up like that. There we go. Now, personally, I mean, we can go here, but I'm thinking another stone base. But before we did put her on, we got our friend here, Bilbo. Stone base or wood base? I gotta ask you guys. Stone base or wood base? Personally, I was thinking this base right here. Kind of thought that would have worked right there. Personally. Whoops. Let's go to the over the top shot. There we go. I was thinking more of a woodland base here. But also the stone base would be kind of cool for him too. I don't know. Tough call. Tough call. What do you guys think? Personally, I could probably put her on that one. She would work on this one. Maybe if we had her standing this way. I think I'm going to put him on the wood base. I think that's the way it's got to be. Because basically, I mean, he's a hobbit. In the Shire and all that stuff. So we're going to glue that on there. Boom. Put that over there. And then over here, we are going to glue our little hobbit friend on here. Because I just think he works on this base the best. I just think he works on the base. Yeah, there we go. And I'll show you once it dries in a second. So we've got 2 extra bases for next time. There we go. And we've got Gimli. This girl who I don't know. There. Or Strider. And I think that kind of works. I think that kind of works, if you ask me. There we go. Now, the other thing I want to do is once I get them on these bases, you know, I want to take a little new oil, because what I did is I just painted them with a very dark gray, an etching gray, as you can see right here. All right, and then I went over them with a matte white. But now I kind of want to take a little bit of new oil and I want to kind of tone that down a little bit. And I can do that with this brush here. We're going to move these guys out of the way, and I'm just going to, we're going to use one of these guys right here. It's a perfect guy to do it with. And just kind of want to work that new oil into there. As you can see, it doesn't take the highlight out. And I want to be careful. I don't want to hit the leaves that I painted, but it does darken up that base a little bit. And I do want that base to go a little bit darker. I'll show you a little bit better up top here. All right. As you can see, we have our gobbo here. And we're just looking at the base right now. And all I want to do is just kind of get it into the recesses there. And just darken it up a little bit, give it a little bit of a darker look. Monster X, how are you? We can do the same thing with this here. You know, we really kind of lighten that up, but we can kind of just really bring some really sinisterness. As you can see, our archers. But just very easy with these archers. Again, it became just a very simple thing. And I try to keep this as simple as possible. What I did was spray it black for primer, and then dry brushed in lead belcher, and then added beastal browns. I also used an oak brown, and then we used our greens, like I said. We used the Death Guard Watch green and then went over it very lightly with a Scar Skin green. Hold on, I'll bring it here so you guys can see it. Just very lightly, very lightly. There you go. And let's see, who else do we want to pick out here? You know, see this base? This is very, very bright. We want to just kind of we want this skeleton to really kind of stick out. Skeleton, you know, ghastly, ghostly figure. It's dead no matter how you look at it. And just by taking a little bit of that Newlin wash and just lightly going over and moving it around, let's try not to get it on the figure. Now all of a sudden it even brightens up that figure a little bit more. Makes him a little more ghastly. Because he's sitting on just this horrible rock chaos ledge of just sinisterness. Yes, perfect. And where are we at? 42. Pretty good. And I'm going to take that a little bit. Let's cover up our glue. And let me see, what else do I want to put on here? Kind of make this work. I think pretty much we've got it. And let's see if I can do this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. And this way we can get a really good shot of everything, hopefully. So you guys can get a good look. Bear with me. I just got to get the mouse. There we go. And you can see, just by changing those bases and making things just a little bit easier. I mean, look at all these figures. All done. Pretty much ready to go. Let's get the cap out of the way in the glue. Oh, I'll tell you. And a real simple job, just good enough to get to the table. And I do have the expansion, so we're going to be working on that. I think it's 3 more figures. But this game I've been looking forward to playing, and I'm gonna do it live. And why? Because we got painted figures. Why not, right? Why not, right? Let's make sure that you guys can see everybody and see everything that we worked on. And then we're going to go up top and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we have coming up, which I think you guys are going to really enjoy. And I've got a couple of secret projects that we're going to be working on I cannot talk about right this moment. But we're going to do them here. All right. So there you have it. Lord of the Rings completed, ready to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this, but we still have more to talk about. Let's put this camera back. I've got to get. I had when I went to Gen Con, some guy on the plane decided to smash his bag next to my backpack, and he broke my small tripod. So I've got to go buy one. These big ones aren't cutting it just yet. Now, let's talk about what we're doing next week. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be live here. We are going to be, I think that I'm going to do the first part on my channel, second part on Board Game Geek. We are going to be fixing and working on something that I think a lot of people would like to do. And I think this would be interesting. A ton of you go out and buy those painted figures that you can get from Dungeons and Dragons. Okay? But, you know, they're not that cool. I mean, some of them are painted really well, like this dude here, but we can fix that. And we've got all these orc shamans and stuff like that. So how can we get these to look better? First of all, let's get them off these bases, okay, and onto some new bases. I mean, how cool would they look on these bases? Okay. I mean, I bet you in 2 seconds we can make these things look better already by just taking our little knife and just cutting away like we normally do. Remember, cut away from your hand. Yep, there you go. And now, there we go. Well, that scared me for a second. Oh, you see? Okay, so here's something. They're kind of just, they're not even glued on, really. But then we just kind of glue them on a base here. And we do something different with them. And then we paint them up and we get them all jacked up. Get a little glue on here. Boop, boop. Just in 2 seconds, we make an improvement. But why not do that with like the cobalts and give them some detail? And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do some detail with these guys, to fix a lot of these little cobalts. I mean they're okay for role playing, but you know, there's a couple things that you could do to really bring these out. So I want to show you, and we're going to have a whole series on fixing your D&D heroes and stuff like that. I mean, look at that. It's not horrible, but I think we could do a little bit better work with it. I think we can bring some of these figures and pull some detail out and have some fun with this and show you an easy way to get these so they're a little bit more thematic. Let's get this guy out of here. I mean, look at this dude. I mean, would you know that this was a barrel of monkeys? I wouldn't know that was a barrel of monkeys unless I looked really hard. So how do we pull detail out of this? Well, stick with me next week, and we are going to do it. I mean, look at this dude. This is a gold dwarf cleric. I'll be honest with you. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. We've got to bring it out. Look, in 2 seconds, we were able to take and make the shaman just a little bit cooler by putting them on a really cool, simple base. All right? And it doesn't have to be all that calculated. You know, you can leave them on their bases. Well, we can do their bases, their old bases, and I'll show you that too. And we could just fix up some of this work real quick and bring a little more detail out, and boom, guess what? Boom. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So one of the best things that I'm trying to do is trying to keep nice, simple videos here, so you guys can get the feel, get the gist of what we worked on, how we went about it, talk through it, and another goblin, another orc we got to fix. But do some of that. Now that'll be one night. The next night, I got a project. We'll talk about it after I do this project. But like I said, keeping things very simple, keeping things basic. I want you guys to pick up brushes. We did the Color Your World series for the longest time, and now we're here doing, you know, this, where we're taking particular games, hot games, and we're not going to just do miniature games. We're going to do some games that we can just pimp out, and I hate saying that, but you know, enhance some of your board games and make them a little better. They don't have to have just figures. I mean, we're going to be working on a lot of different things, doing a lot of stuff each and every Wednesday here. Yes, that is correct. Here at your friends at Board Game Geek TV. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this. It's been so much fun spending time with you guys. We got to find a way to advertise this a little bit better so people know that we're here every Wednesday. But it should be every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I'll be here. If you guys could show up, I'd appreciate it. It's always good to see each and every one of you. And, you know, we're here to field questions, answer any kind of questions you have, and do the best we can. And if you want to see this played, we're going to be playing it on Rob's Tabletop World. And also you can see some of the other parts of me getting this all painted up to where we are today, where we're done and we're ready to play the game. So I can't wait to get it down to the field. Until next time, it is your old pal Rob telling you, be kind to somebody, because not only is that person going to feel good, you're going to feel good for being kind to somebody. And just remember that tomorrows are never guaranteed, and enjoy your loved ones and everybody today, and make today count, just like we did today. We got all this Lord of the Rings stuff done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying we will see you soon. I'm supposed to freeze here for a minute because I gotta let the other thing catch up.